Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and thank you so much for that lovely warm welcome. Normally I open with a bit about having a Scottish accent, so thanks very much for that, Scott, for stealing my thunder. So we'll just skip right on in. The difficulty with communicating in Asia with a Scottish accent is that Scottish people simply have words that we cannot say. Any word with consecutive R's running right through the middle of it is a bit of a banana skin for us, because we can say the start of the word and we can say the end of the word, but the bit in the middle often merges into an much like that, into a bit of a shit show. Fucking hell, here we go. I learned this the hard way when I worked in a supermarket. One day this old lady came in, this sweet old lady, and she said to me, "Son, can you help me find the strawberries, please?" I said, "Madam, of course I can. If you head down aisle 4, you'll find the strawberries in between the blackberries and the black cunts." Black currants. Much like some of you guys, she's heard something terribly different, and my case was made very difficult by the unfortunate fact that there did happen to be a black couple perusing the fruits and vegetables. And one thing I can assure you folks is in inner city Glasgow, that was statistically unlikely. Because most people in inner city Glasgow, much like Scott, they're born white, they rarely see the sunshine, so therefore they remain white. And that's what leads me to believe that since I moved to Singapore, got a bit of a suntan and grew a beard, that I don't look very Scottish anymore. And I learned this when I went on a family holiday to America recently. My family came from Glasgow, I came from Singapore, and when they arrived in Los Angeles International Airport, they had to stop briefly to go and pick up some emergency sun cream. I arrived shortly afterwards and I too had to stop, but mine was for a random security check. And that's when I learned, unfortunately, that the stereotype was true. American customs officials in airports really are still a little bit wary of brown people with beards and backpacks. And to be honest with you, I really don't like stereotypes because I feel that they're a bit mean. I mean, I read recently that Scottish people around the world are renowned for being very tight with their money, and I didn't know that. I mean, we all know that black guys around the world are renowned for having like really big packages, whereas Asian guys, on the other hand, Chinese in particular, are renowned for having like a really, really, really small tolerance for the children being bad at the violin. Now, there's a few of you out there who thought I was going to say something different, so shame on you, you stereotypical fucks. Anyway, I had a cracking time in America. We went to Hollywood, we went to a wine tour in Napa Valley, we went to the LA Dodgers Stadium to watch some American cricket. It was absolutely incredible. But one of the best things that I did in America was I went to the magic place that is Costco. And if you've never been to Costco, you've missed a trick, by the way, because it's fucking incredible. Everything in there, it's this massive supermarket, right? And everything in there is like far bigger than realistically it needs to be. And I'm not just talking about the Americans. Sorry Americans, that was a bit of a cheap shot. Anyway, this is like Aladdin's cave. I was rushing around, and before I knew it, I was up at the till, and I was buying a 45 pack of razor blades, right? I don't even fucking shave anymore. The Scotsman in me was like, fucking hell, that's a cracking deal for $9.99. I can sell those one a piece at home and make a profit, you know. Anyway, I was up at the stage, up at the till, trying to blinker myself so I didn't buy any more useless shite that I didn't need. And I turned around, and that's when I saw her, right, this kind of like giant 55-year-old morbidly obese woman, and she was kind of like plodding her way down the aisle towards me, looking at me. And I remember thinking, fuck me, I hope that's the only time this happens to me in my life. Otherwise, my marital choice has been a poor one. That's a slow burner, ladies, don't worry. Anyway, I just couldn't take my eyes off her because she wasn't pushing her trolley in a traditional sense, right? She was pushing it with her stomach because her hands were full, right? Under each arm was wedged like this family-sized pack of tortilla chips. It was like a pillow, right? In each hand, right, she had a 3-litre tub of sour cream. Right? That's 6 litres of sour cream. That's too much sour cream. You see, unless she's got a fucking Mexican restaurant and she's expecting Mexico to come for dinner, that's too much sour cream. And I've made a decision now, and that's like, if the condiment that I go to purchase has got a fucking handle, right, I'm not going to buy it because it's too much. Anyway, I don't know why I got so mad about the sour cream. It's not good for her, she doesn't need it, right? Anyway, I did get a cool thing. I got a Tinder date in America, and to be honest with you, I really don't like Tinder because I feel like it makes me very judgmental, which I don't like. You know, you're swiping through, like rejecting these people from your life. You're like, oh, too small, too tall, chin's too big, Adam's apple sticks out too much. You know, like You only learn that lesson once, by the way. Realistically, when in doubt, swipe left. It doesn't rhyme, but it's sound advice. Anyway, I swiped onto this one picture, and it's this girl, and she's taking a selfie. She was stunning, and she's got the Marina Bay Sands in the background, so you know she's beautiful and unique. Then the second picture, it's like her, and she's like doing yoga with her friends. So you're like, well, that's good. She's obviously quite sociable, and she's probably pretty bendy. So we're quite happy in that regard. Now, the third, fourth, and fifth pictures, right? It was just the same selfie in various locations in Singapore. Now, I should have been thinking, there's a beautiful woman. She's athletic. She looks good in yoga pants. She's got friends. Let's just swipe right. But I swiped left, and I'll tell you why. Because the cynical part of my brain was like, the same angle. Like, what the fuck's she hiding on that side of her face? Now, I don't know what I was so worried about. As if I was going to match with her. We were going to get on really well. We were going to decide to meet. I'd get to the restaurant. I'd see her through the window, and she's absolutely stunning. I'd go up and I'd give her a kiss on the good cheek, and then she turns around and she's got like a swastika tattooed on the other side. Don't you get excited, Nazi man? Anyway, I'd like to kind of finish off with telling you a couple of things about my dad. My dad's my hero. He always calls me up and gives me sound advice. He said recently, Matthew, any man can make a mistake, but only a complete fool keeps making the same mistake time and time again. And I thought, you know what, that's quite profound, to be honest. And you see, like, if Mahatma Gandhi told me that, I'd be like, all right, Mahatma Gandhi, good talk. But it was my dad. It was my dad, and I just felt it was a wee bit rich coming from a man who'd decided actively to have 4 children. Like, I just couldn't really. But anyway, I saw my dad in the airport, and I hadn't seen him for ages. And he was looking really well in his body. He'd lost some weight. He was looking good. But in the same breath, he wasn't looking good because he was wearing Crocs, like 3/4 length dad shorts. He had a fanny pack on, and he had a shirt that didn't match. And I was like, Dad, like, when did this start? Because when I grew up, I remember my dad like dressing really cool, really trendy. I mean, he must have been cool. He's had sex 4 times. I mean, can't wait to catch him up. Anyways, I just thought potentially, hypothetically, maybe someone in here can answer me. I'm not sure. I've not looked around, but maybe men get to a certain age when they start to maybe prioritise comfort over style in their attire because they've come to the conclusion that realistically they're not going to be having that much more sex moving forward. You know, maybe they've had the mortifying realisation that they're only really likely to get a blowjob on their birthday and maybe on Christmas Day. And if that's the case, ladies and gentlemen, my dad's really unlucky because his birthday is on Christmas Day. But I'm just going to finish with this, guys. I actually had a very serious chat with my dad at Christmas time. He said, son, you need to sit down, and I promise you this is coming from a place of love, but I need to tell you. He said, I've been watching you for a few weeks in your holiday, and I'm really worried that you drink too much and you might be an alcoholic. And I thought, oh my God, that's not a nice thing to hear, but it's your dad and you respect him, so you have to listen. So what I said to my dad was, look, when I go back to Singapore, I'm going to stop drinking, I'm going to find a meeting, and I'm going to read up about it, and in a month, I'm going to tell you what I think. So I came back and I did just that. I stopped and I found a meeting. Does anybody know, incidentally, where the main Alcoholics Anonymous meeting is in Singapore? No? It's in Boat Key above a pub. Fucking hell. I'll see you there tomorrow. Well, I just think that's ridiculous. I mean, how cruel. It's like putting a sex addicts meeting in the middle of the Orchard Towers. Like, I just, honestly, I've got this picture of this poor guy trying to behave himself. He's kind of covering his ears, and someone in the hookers goes, hey baby, he's like, la 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 la, like running down the corridor to get past. It's ridiculous. What a horrible thing. But I went to the meetings and I realised that I'm not an alcoholic. I just like to drink. I was brought up an expat, and it's just like one of your activities. And it's fine. You're laughing because you agree. Don't mind. But the reason I know I'm not an alcoholic is I've got a friend who is, my friend John, and he's an utter mess. And as long as I'm just a fraction better than him, I'm fine as far as I'm concerned. Now, he came to see me for a golf lesson the other day. I'm a golf professional, by the way. I definitely don't do this for a living. And he came in, and I could smell him before I seen him, right? I looked at him. He was pale white. He was jittery, he was shaky, he was just rubbish. I said, mate, you don't need to come if you're like this. He says, no, I need to get some help with my driver. I said, okay, so the driver, if you don't know, is the one where you have to put it on the tee. So he goes in, he does a couple of swings, and he bends down, and his hands are shaking so much that he cannot put a golf ball on a golf tee at 4:30 in the afternoon on a Sunday. And I thought this was ridiculous, so I kind of lit him up. I was like, mate, that's dreadful, that's embarrassing. You can't put a golf ball on a golf tee at 4:30 in the afternoon on a Sunday. That means that you definitely have a problem with alcohol. I've been through this, I know. What we're going to do is we're going to finish this lesson, right? We're going to go and get a coffee, then we're going to go and find a meeting. And he was devastated, I could see it in his face. So we continued the lesson. Obviously, I had to put it on, so I bent down, and honestly, I couldn't get the fucking thing on either. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.